Hello Twin Flames and welcome to your daily check-in for Monday. So I'm really excited today because my two brand new decks of cards have come. Divine Masculine Spirit Oracle and the messages from the other side. Now I used this earlier today in the feminine reading. I am going to be doing a little walkthrough with these later on to talk about the decks in more detail and just do a little mini reading. And then I am going to bring this deck in later for the DM to DF reading too. But both of these decks right now are available to buy through Make Playing Cards. You know, if you're after a deck to connect you with your loved ones on the other side, or to connect more with spirit guides or ascended masters or your angels, or anyone, you know, you loved in heaven, you know, these are the decks for you. So make sure you check those out too. But I'm going to bring in the Divine Structure deck today. So thank you, angels. Look at that, straight out one card. So the energy today is, will I get my apology? I'm sorry. So this is about understanding that usually when we receive a physical apology in the physical world, it's when we feel we don't need one anymore. So if you feel you're waiting for that apology and it's not coming, it's because you may feel that you need it too much. So it's all about letting go. It's about letting go of the struggle and feeling at peace. Apologies, it's about forgiveness, and forgiveness is a gift that we give to ourselves. Your masculine will feel sorry and regret and guilt over the things they've done, and they will apologise to you at some point on this journey. But usually it's not when we want, because we have to learn. We have to learn that forgiveness is a gift that we give to ourselves. Jesus said, and he said this to me in a channel reading, if you're wondering where I got this from, he said, if I can forgive what another has done to me, all the heinous crimes done to me, then you can forgive what another has bestowed upon you. You can forgive what another has done to you. And if we can't forgive others, how can we ever expect to be forgiven ourselves? So it's about understanding that. So it's about seeing it in a new way. Will I get my apology? You already have. Because the masculine is sorry as soon as they hurt you. They may not tell you that or show that to you, but they certainly feel it. And if you allow yourself to feel it too, you'll know that. So if you're thinking, how can I forgive? Call on the angels to help you. Visualize your masculine as a small child or a baby. Of course, you're going to forgive them then. You can call on your guardian angel. And I did a divine feminine reading not long ago, or a twin flame reading not long ago, and I spoke directly about forgiveness. So if you're wondering how you can forgive, how you can help yourself to forgive, find that video. Okay, it'll be in the playlist section not long ago. You'll know it by the thumbnail. But you have a guardian angel who's with you from birth, and a guardian angel that kind of comes into your life and you are made aware of as soon as you wake up spiritually, and they help you with forgiveness. Mary Magdalene can help you with forgiveness. Jesus himself can help you with forgiveness. Saint Peter can help you with forgiveness because, you know, they betrayed Jesus in the physical. You know, Saint Peter denied him and he felt betrayed. You know, it's that feeling, all that guilt. And Jesus forgave him straight away, but Peter held on to all that guilt. So it's about forgiving the self and forgiving others. So it might not even be that, you know, it's your twin you need to forgive. It may be yourself, because sometimes we feel silly and foolish because we allow ourselves to be hurt by our twin. We feel vulnerable. We go back to our childhood days when we got hurt and we feel like a child and we feel afraid and lonely. And that's the truth. So we have to forgive ourselves. So a really great thing to do is visualize your own inner child coming up to you, and you are hugging that child, saying it's going to be okay, because it is. You are beautiful inside and out. So will you get your apology? Will they say the sorry? So we're going to bring in, let's bring in the Divine Masculine Comes Home Oracle, and I'm going to bring in the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot, a Journey to Union Oracle, and I'm going to bring in, if I can find it here, the Twin Soul Healing Oracle. So I'm going to use a few decks of cards to get the answer. And I'm just seeing what I've got around here as well. The decks I'm looking for aren't there, so I'm not meant to use them. So I'm going to also use the Almost Tarot. So let's see what the angels want you to know. So will you get your apology? Will you get your apology, or will you get an apology? What do you need to know? But the real message I feel is what I've already shared, that You don't need to get your apology. Forgive for yourself. It's a gift that you give to yourself to feel at peace, and then it will come. I feel it's going to come when you least expect it, when you don't even need it anymore, when you've forgotten all about it. When you let go, that's what that card says. You'll get your apology when you let go. Very powerful. And, I'll tell you something else in a second as well. I'm just going to shuffle the cards and see what energies come through here. What do you need to know? Because, it's a healing energy when there's forgiveness there. It brings in so many lessons. And I'm going to bring in Mother Mary as well. What does Mother Mary want you to know about this? And I'm also going to bring in the Elemental Oracle. So I know I'm repeating decks today and using a few decks I've already used. But, it's so powerful when we get these messages coming in. This card's also moving on top of the deck. So the late, great Wayne Dyer said, when you don't forgive, you're burning yourself. It's like you're holding on to a hot coal. And that hot coal, what's it doing? It's sitting in your hands. It's burning you. It's not burning the other person. It's burning you. And that hot coal will get, it'll get brighter and it'll get burnier. It'll get, more painful. And it'll start going into your body. And that will cause poisonous feelings and fumes going into your veins. And it attacks your nervous system and it creates illness and disease. And you don't want that. You don't want that. So throw it away. Get rid of it. Forgive. So will you get your apology? They were searching for you from the moment they were born. Remember that. They've been searching for you from the moment they were born. And sometimes they've searched for you in other people or other situations. You may think they are the wrong places, but they're the right places for them to understand that nobody is you and nobody compares to you. So when we understand now, it's easier to forgive. So even though this is, will I get my apology, I'm feeling this is about forgiveness itself. Okay, and when you understand that they've been searching for you and exploring and learning their lessons to get to you and be with you fully, completely in permanent union, we automatically forgive. We've got moon, darkness. So we've just had the powerful full moon. We're still feeling that. It's brought a lot of darkness in. It's brought things up to be forgiven or healed. So the masculines have certainly been thinking about these things with the full moon. The energy of the full moon itself is about release. So the angels are asking you to release all the things that you feel you need an apology for. And be more in the now. I am fully present in the here and now. So when we live in the past or we stress over it and think about it, we think we need apologies. If only this had happened, if only they'd done that, if only. And, when you're in the now, you're okay because you feel at peace and you think, wow, everything I went through learned and grew me. It taught me things. It made me who I am. So it's easier to forgive when you understand that there's always a plan. And grace and mercy. Be filled with the same beauty, poise and divine perfection as all of God's other creations. So be at peace. See them as innocent. We're all innocent in this school of life because we're all learning lessons. And also be grateful. Be grateful for the lesson. Be grateful for what you learned. Be grateful for what the thing that you need to forgive has taught you because it's made you stronger and wiser. As I notice and appreciate my blessings, I open the door to more of God's gifts. So the angels are saying that when we go over things and we don't forgive and we resent and we have all these feelings, it doesn't serve us. What does serve us is gratitude and being grateful and appreciating where we are. And that brings in a clear mind because sometimes this card keeps coming out because sobriety is about things we can do to distract. If you're drinking more because of what's happened or, you haven't got a clear mind. But sometimes our mind is so busy with thoughts of the past or what they've done or the hurt, then we aren't in the now and we don't think clearly. So we may lash out or do things we regret. So when you have a clear mind, you're more likely to forgive. And also they are more likely to apologise to you when they have a clear mind. So if they've been doing alcohol or drugs or something else, they need to clear that up to be able to apologise. And also we've got marriage. Okay, this is about you understanding this. A sacred union is much more than a ceremony or a document. So if you're holding on to pain or resentment because they are married, there's going to be an ending anyway to bring in a new beginning. So forgive and let go. Forgive yourself. If you've been involved with someone who's married before, or they are married now, or don't feel guilty, let that go, okay? Because there's nothing you can do about it apart from accept it and heal it and forgive. And I know so many of you on this journey are either connected with people with marriages, or they're in a relationship, or you've been in that situation before. I have. I was involved with a married catalyst for 6 years. I'm not proud of that, but I learned so much from that situation, that connection, that person. And, I had to forgive myself for that too. It was so painful to me at one point. I actually got baptized so I could release what I felt was that sin. And, as soon as we feel that we are forgiven, we are forgiven. And I didn't expect an apology because he was learning too. Finances. God is your source. Sorting out issues connected with money. Trust that you have enough. So maybe there's an apology about money. Okay, maybe this is because they promised you marriage, they married someone else, or, you thought you were going to get married and they ended up with someone else, or they said they were going to leave and they haven't, and you're thinking, are they going to apologise for that? Or maybe it's money. Maybe they've spent your money, or you've given them money in some way, or money's been involved. And you're thinking he needs to apologise because he's took my money, or he's used my money, and trust me, he feels all these things. He feels bad. And the message is forgive, because God is your source. If you feel grateful, you're going to receive back what you gave and so much more. And remember, when you give, you do it freely at that time because it's what you feel will help or what you're guided to do. When we give to our twin, it's really like giving to ourselves. So forgive. It's my responsibility. He's saying to you, it's my responsibility to apologise. It's my responsibility to say I'm sorry. So let me do it my way in the timing I want, when I'm ready. In other words, you don't need to force an apology. If you do, it won't be genuine. You won't feel it the same. He's saying it's my responsibility. I do intend to travel to you to apologise. And I'm sorry, I feel he's also apologising for the things he feels responsible for or in, like marriages or financial stuff, or because maybe he's made plans to travel somewhere with you or to you and he went back on his word, and he's apologising for that. And he's saying, I'm born of power and strength. So he's showing you he's going to get the power and the strength he needs to be able to approach you with this apology. And all we have to do to receive an apology is let go. To let go and to allow the apology in. I feel that he wants to apologise, but he's also afraid of how you're going to be. If you're going to be a bit defensive, if you're not going to want to hear what he has to say, if you're going to dredge up the past again, if you're going to go over it again, let it go. Yeah, let it go. So again, similar energy. We've got 4-4, 44, 444, protection from the angels. This is a message that's saying to you, let go. Your apology will come when you are ready, when you let go of the need for it now. And it's fate and destiny, all paths lead home. So whatever's happened, whatever you feel you need an apology for, it's done, it's dusted, all paths lead home. You're going to be together anyway because the angels are assisting. So the angels are assisting. So forgive yourself, forgive the situation, forgive. And remember what Mary Magdalene says. Love yourself, love others, love the situation, no matter what the outside circumstances. And that way you feel free. You forgive, you heal, you feel at peace. And you don't need that apology anyway. But when you don't need it anymore, trust me, it'll come. And you'll be like, wow, thank you. So you won't feel the need to bring up the past, or the angels know you and God knows you better than you know you. So if you're thinking, when he comes back, I'm going to bring this up, I'm going to bring that up, I'm going to make him feel bad for this, I'm going to make him apologise for that, you're going to be waiting a long time. If you heal all of that, the apology will come. I had a big fallout with my cousin years ago, and my cousin was like my brother. And I've spoke about this before. And, money can make crazy things happen. And there was a family situation years ago. It's, 25 years ago now this happened. And, I was in a lot of pain about the way things happened. Things occurred and he went out of our lives. And I felt betrayed. He was the biggest catalyst to me, really, when I think about it. Because catalysts can be family, friends, bosses, colleagues, jobs, not only lovers. Remember that everything can be a catalyst to union or a catalyst to your life if you see it that way. And I felt betrayed because I'd done nothing wrong. He was falling out with me for nothing I'd done. And for years, I was holding on to pain and resentment over it and thinking, when he comes back, I'm going to do this, I'm going to play this song and I'm going to make him feel this. And then eventually I thought, why am I holding on to all of this? He was a teacher to me. And I started understanding this, when I went through my big spiritual awakening, because this happened when I was very young, like 20s, early 20s. And, when I started fully awakening, like when I hit my 30s, I understood it from a much higher place. There's this great teacher that came into my life that taught me that if people leave your life, it's okay. And God will open doors and bring the right people in at the right time, and all this magic happens. And I started to forgive. And I no longer listen to that song anymore with that painful feeling. If you want to know what the song was, it was Useless by Depeche Mode, one of my favourite songs actually. And, it sings about with your fist in my face and all these things. And I thought, I'm going to just play this song and make him listen to the lyrics. And, for years, I'd get drunk and I'd sit there, I'm going back to like my early 20s, and I'd sing that song and I'd get drunk and I'd go over all this pain. I was just putting myself through a lot of unnecessary suffering. And then eventually I took control and I forgave myself, because it wasn't even him I needed to forgive. It was me for allowing myself to feel all these things, and it was my perception of everything that was creating all the pain and struggle. And then I let go. And, unfortunately, we still haven't resolved anything. I don't know where he is. I wish him well. But what the point I'm making is, I have no feeling about it anymore. If for any reason we did come back into contact, I'm sure it would be a beautiful thing. But the point is, I no longer need an apology. Whereas for years and years, I thought I did. And I held on to that. And the universe makes magic happen. What happened with me, why I found it so hard to leave my previous job, and I was there for 10 years, is because I started working somewhere where my boss was like my brother. He even had the same name as my cousin, who was like my brother, who left my life. And I had the most amazing kind of friendship bond with him. It was amazing. So God closed that door in my life for a reason. So I learned a big lesson and then replaced him in my life with someone else. Powerful, even to the point where, if me and George get married, which, neither of us are really into that, who knows what the future holds. But if I do ever marry him, he would be the one who would give me away. I mean, isn't that a powerful thing? And it's just a little bit of my history in my life, just to get it out there that, it's not just you that go through these things, it's me too. We all do. We all go through things. If you think someone's journey is easy, you need to walk a mile in their shoes. That's why we should never judge others, because we all go through pain. But, when we think we need an apology, it's about learning the lesson that we don't. And when we forgive ourselves, really it's always about forgiving ourselves, because we felt vulnerable in some way. We felt betrayed in some way. And it's not even really the other person, because nobody can affect us without our own permission. Nobody. So if back then I'd thought of it differently, from a higher place, it wouldn't have caused those years of pain in me. But I had to release them, and they affected me physically. I went through physical things because of that loss, and because it's hard as well when you lose someone, when they're ripped out of your life but they're still living. And that's how we feel when we are separate from our twin, because we feel that they've been ripped out of our life, and it hurts the heart. It's like you're going to die. And the thing is as well, I just want to get this across, because a lot of my journey was with catalysts to understand. So I was able to come into union with George quicker. But I went through a very similar thing with a love catalyst, where he blocked me on every single platform and completely removed me from his life. And that hurt me more than it hurt what I went through with my cousin, who was like my brother, who went through all of that for years and years. It hurt me more. And I got through that, through self-love and recognising it wasn't me, it was him. It was his issues, his problems, his fears, his insecurities. And I am okay. So when I started letting go of the initial panic and anxiety about being blocked and not having contact, and that put me into thoughts of suicide and all of those things that I'd never even thought about doing before. Even back then, went with my cousin, which you'd think I would have done. But, I went through all these feelings. And then Archangel Michael came to me at my lowest, which he does to you. When you're at your lowest and you're on your knees, he'll come to you and he'll say, get up. Get up, soldier. Get up, warrior. You've got this and I've got you. And you then make the decision to change your life and see it differently and not take things personally and be at peace and at ease with things. And that's what comes in to build your warrior spirit. So whatever they've done to hurt you that you think you need an apology for right now, it's building your warrior spirit. And you may watch this, maybe you start the reading thinking, I can't never forgive him. Maybe right now you're thinking, well, actually I can forgive. Because it's not him you need to forgive, or the karmic partner, or the world, or the pandemic, or the situation. It's actually you for allowing yourself to feel vulnerable and be hurt in that way. Because no one can affect you without your permission. Everything that happens to us in this life is a neutral thing. It's the way we see it that makes it good or bad, light or dark, negative or positive, happy or sad. It's our perception. So when we understand that, it's liberating, and we take back our power. And we no longer need to control anything. All we need to do is look after our emotions and feelings, keep them in check, and focus on living in the light and operating in a higher vibration. And the universe takes care of the rest. And when you do that, your apology will come. But guess what? You won't need it anymore. And that's the power of love. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.